Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne, and I'll bring you a video tonight titled Pause, Reset, and Then Re-Engage Your Dating Life. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Everyone who's ordered your copies, they're on the way. Even my international orders, I've shipped everything out. So you all should be getting everything relatively quickly, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. But let's get right to it. Pause, reset, and then re-engage your dating life. This video is brought to you about through the encounters that I've been having as I come across different men and offer coaching, even conversations I've been having in my dating community, just the myriad of men that I've been encountering. I'm noticing some common threads that are responsible for intermittent successful experiences with women. So most of the men who I've been around, they've gotten some information and they've been able to glean some of the things from the information and get some better experiences, but then they still haven't found a solid man within themselves. So the other experiences, they're bending over backwards, they're unfulfilling, and these women are jerking them around in every possible way. So they're having a wide variety and a wide range and a wide scope of experiences with women because they haven't become solid men. I've been giving you all some very elevated messages for a good amount of time now. And one thing that I know is that you cannot take in new information and get the desired experiences on a consistent basis that you want to have with women until you become a new man. That's what the pause and the reset is about. You need to become a new man. The information is good, but if it falls on the wrong ground, then your experiences are going to be unstable. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And you also cannot put new information, new wine in old skins. You can't take in new information and not address the core of why you're not getting the steady changes that you desire with your dating life. It's because you're the same man. You're getting great new information, but your experiences are all over the place. They're all over the place because you haven't become a solid man. This is a very important message. You know, when you're not a solid man, you're a double-minded man. And like I said, you know, the Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways, tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. And that's what's happening. You have a doctrine that women are giving you, and you have solid doctrine coming from men like myself, and you're caught in the middle because you don't have a solid understanding of who you are. So until you become a solid man, your experiences with women are going to be all over the place, and they're going to be dangerous because if you listen to a woman, you acquiesce to what a woman is asking you to do in order to have access to her, you're going to be all over the place. The average man's barometer in terms of how he's going to deal with women is not from the place of a solidified identity and understanding of himself. It's from a place of sexual access to her and how beautiful, how bad she is. So you're treating women different based on them allowing you to have sexual access to them or based on how beautiful she is. And you're getting different experiences that are not working out in your favor because you're not solid. Until you develop a solid identity of who you are as a man, your experiences with women are going to be unfulfilling and they're going to be all over the place because you're double-minded. I didn't say it, the Bible said it. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And the evidence is you're taking this new information, you're taking it in, but the results in your life aren't changing. You're attempting to put new wine in old skins. That's what the Bible talks about. You know, back in the day, in the biblical day, they would put the wine in the skins. in animal skins. And some people would try to cut corners and recycle the skins, and you couldn't do that. They would put the new wine in the old skins, and the skins would explode because new wine is designated for new skins. New information is designated for a new man. And so I want to get to the core of why your experiences are all over the place, because your barometer of how you deal with women is based on the sexual access you have to them and how beautiful they are. It just doesn't work that way. So when I say you need to pause and reset and re-emerge, the first thing you need to do, you need to pause, okay? If you're getting the new information and your results are all over the place, that means that new information is not falling on solid ground. You have to become solid ground for the new information to transform you, okay? So you have to pause, okay? You have to pause. Get away from the dating game for a second. Get away from the women who will give you unfavorable experiences. Get away from all of the women in your life. You're going to have to pause. And this is very important. You have to go into peace and solitude, okay? And then you have to reset. The reset is you taking time to yourself to fully understand the value that you have in terms of what you have to offer to yourself, the world, and consequently to women. The pause is when you take inventory of the breakthroughs you've had in life, how you've been elevating, how you've been growing, the offering that you are to the world, the various things that you have to offer to the world, in which the world is better by you offering these innate gifts and talents and abilities that you've been given. That's the pause. And the pause is also understanding what women are selling you in terms of what you need to do for them and with them versus the reality of their dismal life. If you listen to women long enough and you're around them long enough, you'll learn to not listen to what they say, but you have to observe them and the reality that surrounds them. This is all a part of the pause. And you're going to see that what they're asking you to do and what they're asking from you, there are not many men in their presence that are giving them those things. That's why they're single. If they found a man who was giving them everything they wanted, that they were attracted to, and they were satisfied with, they would not be single. So they're selling you a version of themselves that only a double-minded man can accept and believe. But if you're singly minded, you understand the value that you have because you paused. You took inventory of the gift that you are to the world, the progressions that you've been making in life, the departure that you are from most men because you've been working on yourself. That's a part of the pause as well. You have to work on yourself. And some of you have worked on yourself, but you haven't fully inhaled yourself, which means that you're not going into the world with the full understanding of yourself. That creates a singular mind when you understand yourself. You understand, I'm going to give this and I deserve this in return. And it's not a fantasy type of proclamation because you're bringing a version of yourself to life and you're getting a steady return, an elevated return back to you based on the elevated man that you've become. When you've become, the worst thing that you can do is still play a woman's game of you have to give me this. I'm more valuable than you. Men do this for me. She's telling lies and she's looking for a sucker to believe the lies that she's telling to him. And so you've been a sucker and you have to accept it. That's why you have to pause. Why are my experiences not fulfilling with the women that I'm allowing into my space? It's you. It's not them. It's you. You're the common denominator. So that's when you have to separate yourself. And then you have to pause. Take inventory of every situation with every woman in your life and the women in your past. And you have to identify, where did I show this woman that I did not love myself? Because every unfavorable outcome, there were signs, markers, and symptoms that the situation was going to be imbalanced, that you were giving more to her than what she was giving to you. And there's a point in time in every interaction with a woman that was unfavorable. There's a point in time where you establish that I'm going to give more to you than you're going to give to me. I'm going to accept it. You have to stare at that place with every unfavorable interaction that you had with every woman and identify where you showed that woman that you didn't love yourself and you valued her above yourself. You have to stare at that. And then you have to stare at the gift that you are to the world, the progress that you've made, the advancements that you've made, the place that you are in life that's favorable, that's enjoyable. That's a departure from the men that these women normally deal with. These women will tell on themselves. They'll sell you one version of themselves, and then you can look at their experiences and clearly see that they're having unfavorable experiences where they are getting terrible experiences with men. That's why they're single. And you have to stare at yourself and say, why did I insert myself into a situation where a woman valued herself above me? And all the dismal experiences that she had, she brought those to me. And I didn't love myself enough to not give her the things that she was asking me to give her. You don't give a woman anything until you're ready to give it to her. If she makes requirements that you give her certain things, and other men, if you listen, have not been giving her those things, you're an idiot. And that's why you need to pause. And we've all been there as men. I'm not trying to get on you tonight. I've been there. But then you have to pause. And then you have to reset. You have to have a full understanding of yourself. You have to learn to love and value yourself. Don't get back into this dating game until you learn to value yourself, because your experiences are going to be all over the place. You're going to get this great information. You all tell me how elevated my messages are. Through your words, your comments, your donations, coaching. I'm thankful that you all have identified me as a voice of reason and a voice of direction for you. But my voice is irrelevant if you don't change as a man. And that's what the pause is. You have to take inventory of yourself and understand yourself and accept every good attribute that you have. You have to accept that there are women who have given you favorable experiences based on the man that you are and how you showed up to her. That voice that tells you, oh, she's so beautiful, you have to deal with her differently. Oh, she might not like you. You have to silence that voice by reminding that voice of the man that you are, the magnitude of man that you've become, the experiences that you've had to support the version of yourself that you know that you are. You have to silence the voice of these women that are trying to play with you. And you have to silence the internal voice that's trying to tell you that you are not the man that you actually are, that's trying to instill fear in you as opposed to confidence. Confidence, when you move forward with confidence, every experience is the same with women. Because you're only dealing with women who view you and move with you in accordance with the man that you are. But you are not the man that you are until you have a full understanding of yourself. You're a man that is for everything, for every experience, if you don't have a solid, grounded understanding of yourself. That's why you have to pause, and that's the reset, is understanding yourself, taking time away from the game to sit down and understand yourself. And then once you sit down and understand yourself, you identify where you misfired in every situation that you've been in that didn't work out for you. You identify where you submitted to women through tolerating disrespect, tolerating their words to you, saying that you have to give her offerings to get in her space. You tolerated imbalanced propositions because you're an imbalanced man. You don't have an identity. You don't stand on anything solid. You're a double-minded man, you're unstable, and the results in your life support the fact that you are an unstable man. That's why you need to pause. You need to get away from the instability and become a stable, predictable, and grounded man. And that's when you can re-emerge into the dating game. When you re-emerge into the dating game, now all of your experiences are the exact same. You're identifying women who move with you in accordance with the identity that defines you. You've been transformed because your mind is renewed. The pause is where you renew your mind and fully inhale and fully understand yourself. And then you're transformed because your mind is renewed. You are food out here if your mind is not renewed. You are food out here if you've made advancements and progressions in life, but your mind has not caught up to those progressions and advancements, and you're taking an inferior version of yourself through life that does not match the superior man that you've become. You have to pause. And it's okay to pause. It's okay to let some inferior experiences go. Those experiences are leaving you frustrated because you're overextending yourself. There's a masculine man inside of you that you have not allowed to define you. That masculine man is knocking at your door, and it's allowing you to feel the brunt and the unfulfillment of engaging in imbalanced experiences with women where you're overextending yourself. You're overvaluing them. That's the masculine man speaking to you, and that's where you have to reconcile what that masculine man is trying to tell you about yourself. That's why you pause. You get away from everything. And even, I don't want to get too biblical, but many advancements with great men in the Bible were made when these men were isolated. When these men were isolated, they were able to take full inventory of themselves and who they are and who they've become, and then they were able to re-emerge better, stronger, with a clearer awareness of themselves. And then the results in their life changed. They were able to speak from a different voice. They were able to speak from a different place within themselves because they grew and they emerged and they became. You have to become. That's what the pause is about. You have to become that elevated man that has a full understanding of himself, so that you're not tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. You're not tossed to and fro because you have sexual access to her. Oh, she's beautiful. That can't be your barometer. Every woman has to look the same because you have to become a solid man that is the same. You have to become predictable. And the only way to become predictable, you have to have a solid, grounded understanding, awareness, and acceptance of yourself. You have to go deep within yourself before you re-emerge. So I'm encouraging you to re-emerge. Re-emerge a more elevated and grounded man with an identity that's fixated within everything that he has to offer to the world. The man that's elevated, the man that can take inventory of the progressions and the breakthroughs that he's experienced. The man that understands that he is a departure from these men that these women are dealing with. And you're not going to sit there and tolerate the different bullshit that these women are trying to offer to you to enter this space because they're beautiful, because they're going to give you a piece of pussy. That's how your life stays out of balance. That's how you're trying to make advancements, but you have a weight holding you back because you're not operating and engaging in balanced situations. Balance creates peace. Peace creates clarity. Clarity allows you to ascend in life, to fulfill every dream, to understand your purpose and have no inhibitions and nothing holding you back as you pursue your purpose. You need clarity. That's why you need to pause. But when you pause, you re-emerge. And when you re-emerge, you are not double-minded. You're stable, and every experience that you have is predictable. And I can end this with a very quick story. Something that happened relatively, recently. There was a woman I came across, and she had access to me a couple of years ago, on a dating app, and we matched again. I didn't remember her, she remembered me. And she says, I've been waiting 2 years. I've been waiting 2 years to get back in touch with you, because she didn't have my phone number or anything. We didn't even make it off the app. And I told her exactly what I was looking for. And she says, you know what? What you're looking for hasn't changed, because I'm a solid man with a solid identity. And she says, you know what? My experiences have been so unfavorable to me that I'm willing to do things your way. I'm like, okay, that's great, but those are just words. So we met up, And I had talked to her beforehand a couple of times. And the plan was for something casual. I let her know I'm not going towards that relationship stuff you were talking about. I don't know you. I'm not going to give you something that's outside of what I want to give. Let her know that point blank. We get together. If the spot was, it was rainy, it was outside, and so we couldn't be outside. You know, she hopped in my car, and she began to flip the script immediately. She looked at me, saw how attractive I was in person, and she's just like, "Oh my God, do you want to have kids?" And I'm looking at her like, "Yo, what the fuck are you talking about? How does that fit within something casual?" And then she pauses, and then she introduces, even though she had an opportunity on the phone, she introduces all of the relationship type of stuff that she wants to do with me in order to have access to her. And previously she told me how she's been dating with intention. And I told her straight up. I said, yeah, you told those men you were dating with intention, and every last one of those men, you were their consistent piece of pussy. I told her that to her face. And she's like, yeah, you're correct. Because she was in a relationship, and those men just told her everything that she wanted to hear. And she found out over time that she was the only one in the relationship, and those men were not, their movements were not aligning with the proclamation that they gave her to have sexual access to her. They played her. They played her for a consistent piece of pussy. And here I am, more attractive, more successful than any of those motherfuckers she's been dealing with. And her first instinct was to try to bring me into submission and bring me into a space of a relationship. And we had an opportunity to do something physical. And she says, oh, you're not going to get me today. Oh, that's not enough time. I want to have some marathon sex. So she was throwing more hoops and more hoops. And I promptly, within minutes of meeting this woman, promptly just said, you know, the women who give me the experience I'm looking for, things are a little faster and they're much easier. I promptly told her, I was just like, you know, we have an opportunity in front of us and you don't want to take advantage of it. I just told her straight up. I said the women I deal with, they take advantage of the opportunity that's right in front of them. And I said, you know, your life is a little different than mine. She had responsibilities I don't have. And I said, you know, you're going to have to get in where you fit in if you're going to deal with me. Your time is not yours. My time is mine. And right on cue, I just said, you know what? This isn't for me. I wasn't moved by the potential of having some new pussy. I wasn't moved because she looked decent and all that kind of stuff. I was moved by the solid, grounded understanding of myself versus the men that she was dealing with. The men that she was discontent with, that she's gone 2 years and I'm the only motherfucker she could think about. And she had men in her presence. She self-destructed. She had an opportunity to get in the presence of an elevated, attractive man who offered her direction, who had solid results in his life. That's a reflection of the man that he is. She had an opportunity, but she wasn't calibrated. When you're calibrated to yourself, you will not let women in your space who are not calibrated to you. So I promptly dismiss her. And a lot of you are in unfavorable, frustrating positions because you didn't dismiss women that you should have dismissed. Because you haven't dismissed parts of yourself that you should have dismissed. So until you become a solid man on solid grounding with solid understanding of yourself, you will be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. You will be a double-minded man that is unstable in all of his ways. You'll have double-minded results that are unfulfilling and dangerous. Because you get with the wrong woman who is not supposed to be in your space, she's going to take you so far off track from your best self and your actual self that you might not be able to return. And you'll be empty. You'll have a consistent piece of pussy, but you'll be empty because you're giving way more of yourself than you're supposed to give. It's really that simple. So stop falling for the beauty. Don't let the beauty define how you're going to deal with a woman. Don't let sexual access determine how you're going to deal with a woman. The only thing that should determine how you deal with a woman is she moving in congruence with the exact understanding that you have of yourself. That's why you have to pause. You don't re-emerge into the dating game until you pause, creating an identity, and fully understand yourself. When you do that, you re-emerge, and every situation that you have with the women that you allow into your space will be balanced. It will be in exact alignment with the exactness of the man that you've become. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Just bringing you a video tonight, just having a conversation with you all about pausing, resetting, and re-emerging, re-engaging into the dating space. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. If you want me to make a custom video for you on a particular topic, because I hear you all in the comments, you make a donation of $50 or more to my PayPal or my Cash App that's in my video description. Leave your note on the note feature on PayPal or Cash App where you tell me the topic that you want me to speak on. Your video will be on my channel, Matthew C. Horne Dating, in 24 hours or less after you make a donation and give me your topic. Some of your topics are more nuanced, more in-depth than just leaving a note on PayPal or Cash App. You still make your $50 or more donation on PayPal or Cash App. Then you email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more in-depth and nuanced description of what you want me to speak on in your custom video. And your video will be on my channel in 24 hours or less. If my video has been of value to you, if your thought process have been elevated and you're better for having encountered my message in this particular video, I want you to drop something in my donation information, my PayPal or my Cash App that's in my video description. And to the gentleman who made the sizable donation today, and you've been making sizable donations to me on a regular basis, I'm not going to say your name. You know who you are. Thank you very much, okay? Your donations continue to help me to grow and elevate as I continue to help you all and grow and elevate as well. I'm very thankful for your donations. And if you're in need of coaching, if my voice resonates with you, and you have particular issues in the dating space that you've been unable to overcome, I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave coaching in the subject matter of the email. Leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space. I'll do an assessment and get right back to you promptly with the terms of the coaching. And once you accept the terms, we'll set a date and time, and the coaching will begin immediately. Everything is streamlined and easy over here. My breakthroughs are with you in these coaching sessions, I promise you that. Your breakthroughs are going to be in getting some coaching from me, okay? It's personalized. It's going to be exactly what you need. And if you would also, if you're interested in my 1-year mentorship program that I'm offering, I'm taking on 5 individuals. I have not filled up all of the slots yet. I'm taking on 5 individuals that want to take a year-long journey with me to get to the places that they want to be with women and in life in general. It's a year-long mentorship program. I'm going to do an assessment of where you are and exactly where you want to go, and I'm going to begin the coaching based on the assessment. We're going to build you, rebuild you, renew your mind from the ground up. And this is going to take place over the course of a year. You'll have multiple, a minimum of 3 coaching calls with me every week. And I'm going to actually meet up with you in person as well. And you're going to have 24-hour access to me as well. That's why I can only take on 5 people. You're going to have personal access to me 24 hours around the clock. You call me, you text me, you're in a situation with a woman, you're contemplating something, you're trying to make certain decisions. I'm your voice. I'm going to be present with you for the entirety of a year. We're also going to meet up in person, regardless of where you are, because I have people that support me all around the world. We're going to meet up in person. And I'm going to coach you beforehand. We're going to go out. We're going to meet women together. I'm going to do an assessment of you. And I'm going to give you the streamlined, potent dating coaching that you need. And life coaching as well. There's life coaching integrated into this as well. So that your wildest dreams are surpassed in terms of the expectations that you have of yourself. I want to take you to a place you've never been. Give me a year of your life will never be the same. Lastly, my dating coaching community, Matthew C. Horne Dating, on the school platform. It's growing. We're having great breakthroughs in that particular community. You're going to get 2 exclusive videos every week that are not on YouTube. I allow members of the community to give me topics that they want me to make videos on. And that's how I create the content for the dating coaching community. And I also put my own content in there as well. So you have round the clock, regular, custom videos that are just for the community and not on YouTube. On Monday evenings at 8 p.m., we have a Zoom video call that lasts 1 hour. I do a monologue, I introduce a topic, something that's relevant to the growth of men. I introduce the topic, I speak on it, then the men get to ask me questions on the topic. In the remaining time, you have me for an hour to ask me anything that you would like to ask me about your life, dating, just anything you want to ask me. I'm yours for an hour. There have been some amazing breakthroughs happening in this space, and I want you to join my Matthew C. Horne dating coaching community on the school platform. The information to sign up for the dating coaching community on the school platform is going to be pinned to the top of the comments in this video, as well as in my video description. So I want you all to sign up. Let's keep growing that community. This is where we can communicate with one another. You can leave me messages. I communicate with everyone. It's a great community, okay? And that's it. That's all I have for you. And just please pay attention to the nuances of what I said tonight, because this is a very important message for you to have a steady stream and predictable outcomes with women. You have to pause. You have to remove yourself. You have to reset, which means you gain an understanding of yourself and renew your mind. Identify the places where you've fallen short, where you've accepted inferior treatment, where you overextended yourself, where you allowed a woman to establish a dynamic in the interaction in the relationship that she's more valuable to you. Identify the movements on your behalf that led to unfavorable outcomes with these women. That is the pause. That's the reset. And then once you reset, you re-emerge. And once you re-emerge, you're a new man that has a renewed understanding of himself. You have an identity. You're standing tall, you're standing solid. So every woman that you interact with is going to be the exact same. It's going to be favorable, because you're dismissing women who immediately show you that they're going to give you unfavorable outcomes that are going to move you off of your square and take you away from everything that you're supposed to be pursuing in life. Take you away from the experiences that you're supposed to be having that are optimal with the women that are aligned with the man that you become. I've said enough, man. I see you all soon.